Hi, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. I had a hard time getting up today. It was like I waited until the last minute to get up. But I did. And now I'm out, getting ready to go, right? The thought of my lunch that I left at work yesterday going to waste was enough to make me just get my ass up and go to work. If you still don't want to work, you can always come home, right? Hold on. So here we go. Here we go again, right? So I'm definitely going to have to take the highway today. Definitely going to have to take the highway today. Had a weird night last night. But then, it's Pisces season, right? Lucid dreams, lucid thoughts, all of those sort of stuff that, I typically don't prefer to have. I like my shit to be grounded. I'm going to wait until the afterlife to be abstract. But I do draw some abstract drawings and paintings. I do. But, okay, abstract is okay. It's okay. What the hell? It's saying that my battery is low. My battery didn't charge last night? Oh. Maybe that was just for the earplugs. So yeah, because my phone, the battery shows fully charged. So it's got to be, it was picking up on some earplugs. And that's true, my earplugs, they haven't been charging like they're supposed to. So today, I made my protein shake with the fiber and the collagen. I did not indulge in the cookie and creams protein shake. I did not. But I brought some with me. I brought a V8 and one of these. I made a salad, that way I could have the soup and salad thing again today. So yeah, I'm pleased. Also made me a coffee, hot coffee. Brought one of those protein waters. Oh, and just in case I brought me 3 of these pure protein candy bars. So yeah. Today is the 2nd of March. Tomorrow would be my dad's birthday if he hadn't died. But honestly, they don't even realize how lucky they are, to have avoided, old age in America. Old age in America is sucky. Right? And the disrespect of the children, it's going to cost them dearly. Right? One lady was talking about, it says, to honor your parents, but you kids, you can always come back at your parents with, don't push your child to anger. And I'm like, oh my God. That's why some of these kids got pushed out the house. It's like, oh, you wanna do what you wanna do. Right? And I understand. I was a kid too. I totally understand. But I understood my mom's position too. When she said that she was responsible for me. Right? And there was just some things that I wanted to do. And I had to be honest with myself. It is cruel and unusual punishment to make somebody responsible for your actions. And you're misbehaving. I don't care if that's at work. I don't care if that's at home. I don't care if that's in a relationship. That is like damn near a universal law. Okay? So, like, as for myself, I got emancipated. I told my mom, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about me. And she was like, but I'm responsible for you. I'm responsible for you until you get 18. And I was like, oh, okay. I really took that under consideration. However, to alleviate the responsibility in getting, legally emancipated, my brother, right? My brother, on the other hand, instigated the situation. Oh, she divorced us. She divorced herself from us. And he made it more than what it actually should have been. But actually, the discussion that me and my mother had was that she would worry, she would feel responsible. Society made her legally responsible. And I was like, wow, I just had never thought of it in that way. Right? Because, if you were out there, partying, drinking, and you're a minor, they still blame your parents. If you're out and about, they still blame your parents for not, I don't know, maybe not having a curfew. And even though there was a curfew in place, or if you were out there, stealing, because there were people out there that would go out in groups and they would go to the stores and they would steal stuff and then sell those things that they stole. I mean, there was just all kinds of things that kids would do, back in the day, just depending on your economic bracket, on what, was available for you to do. Right? Some kids, they would get together and they would steal a car. Sometimes it was their parents' car, sometimes it was a complete stranger's car. Right? Then they started calling it carjacking. It happens so often. So in those situations when that happens, even when you watch, some of these police videos, when you watch some of these police videos and you can see where, these kids, they get held, in solitude, at least until the parents arrive, or a parent or a guardian. Because the parents are responsible for their children. So, we have a lot of, kids that, definitely, test the sanity of adults, right? And when I was growing up and we would watch Bill Cosby, Bill Cosby had a saying, he would say, these kids will give you brain damage, and I had to really ponder on that one, like, wow, because I didn't really consider myself to be one of those kids, even though, I was not an angel. And rather than, admit to myself, well, since I'm not an angel, therefore, I too am a contributor of, giving my parents brain damage. But these kids today, no, they blame their parents for everything. Well, my parent didn't teach me. My parent didn't teach me. My parent didn't teach me. They could be 50 years old talking about, my parents didn't teach me, right? And men do that the worst, right? Well, there was no man in the house, therefore, nobody taught me how to be a man. And it was just like, yeah, but, couldn't you at least have been a decent human being? Even if you didn't think that you could be a man, whatever that means. So anyway, I did leave work early yesterday. I left about 5:15, 45 minutes PTO. And it was a beautiful day. Oh my gosh. It was beautiful. Clear skies in the high 70s. Couldn't really enjoy it a lot. I came home, had a snack, nodded out, woke up, watched a little bit more TV, nodded out, and woke up again. And the next thing I knew, I must have nodded out because I ended up waking up at 5 o'clock. See, normally I wake up at 4, but I slept through the 4 o'clock alarm. And because I had woke up late, I was like, oh my gosh, I woke up late, you know. Oh, maybe that's just a sign that I shouldn't go in. Do I want to go in? No. That was immediate. That was an immediate response. Nope, I don't want to go in. But I only work the weekends, so why not go in? Right? And I was like, yeah, I only work the weekends, so why not go in? So I tricked myself, right? I was like, well, you got to go to the restroom. So I got up, went to the restroom, and immediately after using the restroom, jumped in the shower. Said, you know, I didn't even give myself a second chance to rethink not going into work. Because if I would have went back to my bed, it would have been set. I would have made the decision, we are not going in today. Right? And one of these days, I'm gonna have to figure out, who is this we? Am I speaking French? We are not going in today? I'm going in today. We can stay at home. Right? I was noticing that there were other content creators, and they would use that word "we" a lot. Like, oh, we're going to, you know, South Africa today, and I'm like, we? Are you? But you said you're a solo traveler. Who's we? Yeah. So anyway, you know, and if anybody was to ask me, I would probably tell them, hey, you know, I got my angels, my way shores, my ancestors. And whoever else I done brought into my little entourage. So it is a we. Yeah, I got an entourage of unseen spirits around me at all times. What? Yes. We all do. We all have an entourage of spirits surrounding us at all times. And here was one of the things that kind of blew me away the first time I heard it, was that there are people out here, well, actually all of us are energetically connected to one another. Okay? And because we're energetically connected to one another, we also are energetically connected with specific people. Right? So, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, like, say something happens to me. Because I have, I don't know, about 2,000 people that are connected to me energetically. Right? These people will suffer because something happened to me and I died, because I was a source. I was a power source for these people. I know this is going to be something very difficult to understand, because even I may understand it, I don't like it. Right? I'm like, these motherfuckers need to get their own motherfucking energy. Right? But a lot of people, they deplete their alternator. And so they're unable to regenerate their energy. So they're always tapping into other people for energy. I hope I'm making some sense here using that, example. Because that's the easiest way, to talk about it. Right? And a lot of people will say, well, the world, our world consists of energy, right? Positive, which is radiant energy, and negative, which is magnetic energy. So, this is one of the reasons why women have a lot more value than the men. Not only because, they bring, spirits into this realm through their portal, but also because their magnetic energy source makes them a generator. And that's something that I find really interesting, when I'm watching these people who are doing these van lives and, living in a vehicle, or out here camping and stuff like that, and they have these generators and solar panels, and, and how they have to calculate and regenerate the generator. Well, see, this is something that, because men don't want to understand the concept, except in a very derogative way, that women are negative. Like, yeah, women are negative, for sure. They're magnetic. But instead, they use, derogative connotations to say that, we're not decent human beings or something like that, and it's just like, well, what's a decent human being? And even through their own definition of what a decent human being is, most women are decent human beings. Right? And even when we discuss, well, what is an indecent woman, the only way that women become indecent is when men pretty much, violate her and abuse her. Then she becomes indecent. Right? We're like, oh, you're indecent because you do drugs. Most women don't know how to manufacture drugs. Most of the time, if women are hooked on drugs, it's because there was some man back in the background that was supplying her drugs. Right? If a woman is indecent when it comes to sex, right? Well, they're not going to consider her indecent if she's having sex with herself, right? And a lot of men don't consider it indecent for women to have sex with each other because they're like, you guys are very imaginative. Is that all it takes? Is your imagination? But yeah, so when it comes to sex, usually the only time it becomes an indecent situation is when men deem it to be indecent. Right? They have to be the violators. And after they violate a woman, they had the audacity to call her indecent. You're a tramp because we just pulled a whole train on your ass. All 13 members of the team have fucked you, you tramp. And we're not going to pay you for it either, tramp. Right? Now, if they paid her for it, then she would be called a hoe. If they paid her for it, then they would call her a hoe. You hoer. You whore. You let all 13 members of this team fuck you for $10,000. You whore. The only thing women have to recognize is that, you cannot validate men's feelings. You cannot. They're over emotional and very impulsive. So you can't validate their feelings. And if you're with a narcissist or an abuser, you're gonna have to go Greystone on the ass. Like you don't know what they're talking about ever. And that way they'll walk away calling you a stupid bitch. But like I said, you don't validate their feelings so they can call you whatever they want. Now, it becomes a whole nother situation when it comes to, them doing that shit on the workplace or messing you up when it comes to, you being able to make a living, have shelter, clothes on your back, food in your stomach. They know that makes a difference. They know it. Do they care? Not when they're pissed off. When they're pissed off, they don't care about nothing. They're very destructive. A lot of them, they're so destructive that they self-delete. Which to me, a lot of times, is the best thing for them to do. Is to self-delete. That's why I keep saying they should have suicide centers where people can just walk up, no shame, no shade, and terminate this lifetime and just wait for the next reincarnation. That's how I truly feel. Okay, my new explicative. I just read it on the Wendy's sign. Is son of a baconator. Son of a baconator. I like it. Son of a baconator. Okay. Got here 30 minutes before start time. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. So I guess I will watch some videos. I wanted to take time out to try to throw some curls in this wig, but it's like, well, if you do all of that, Cherie, you might not want to go to work at all. So like, no, let's just go. Let's go. So I'm going to close it out here. Thank you for watching Cherie's Weight Loss Journey.